Hello, and thank you for joining us for our partner program launch this morning. My name's Michael Sharkey. I'm the CEO and co-founder here at Ortto, and it's very exciting for you to join us. We've got a lot of exciting things to show you today. Before we get into it, as I know a lot of you have already discovered, the chat feature is on so you can communicate throughout the broadcast today. If you do have any questions, we'll have a full Q&A section at the end of the presentation. So if you do want to hold questions until the end, that would be great, and we'll get to them when we reach that stage. So it's my pleasure this morning to introduce our VP of Partnerships, Camilla Chandler. Camilla, we are live. It's an exciting day, and I can't wait to show everyone our partner portal.
Thanks so much, Mike. Thank you for that very nice introduction. I know there's a lot of people joining us from all over the world, so we appreciate whether it's early morning, late at night, midday. Thank you for your attention today. We've been really waiting for this program to launch. We've got some awesome features that Mike is going to be showcasing you today. We're going to be launching our partner portal and giving you access to tools driven by AI to help you guys drive more leads and earn more commission. At the end of today's event, you'll be able to register, log in, and kickstart your partnerships journey with Ortto. All right, Mike, back over to you to take everyone through Ortto at a glance and our exciting demo ahead.
Okay, so we just wanted to give you a bit of background into Ortto. As many of you know us as Autopilot, we recently changed the name to Ortto. It was all the way back in 2015, we launched our visual customer journey builder called Autopilot. And at the time, if you rewind, really the problem it was trying to solve was to be an accessible and affordable customer journey builder. At the time, you had the option of MailChimp, where you were batching and blasting emails, or you could go and evaluate something like Marketing Cloud or ExactTarget at the time to build more complex journeys for customers. So we wanted to make customer journey building mainstream, make it accessible and affordable and as easy as drawing on a whiteboard. So that's what we did in 2015. We launched Autopilot and it was very successful. We were able to raise 35 million of funding. Today we have over 11,000 customers all around the world using our two platforms. And to give you a background of why did we go and build a new platform, I need to sort of rewind back to that launch all the way back in 2015. So at the time, our customers loved the visual simplicity of building customer journeys and automating multi-channel messages and the workflow right across their business. But they had two other problems that we discovered. The first was that the customer data was very disorganized, and we spent a lot of our time helping them unify all of that customer data together in order to operationalize it. So they had a really big data problem. At the same time, event-based marketing was becoming more mainstream. And so we now had other data types to contend with, data types like segment, information, transactions, along with CRM-based data, which was typically, relatively flat files. So they had this data problem where their data was spread across multiple applications, and it was really hard for a marketer to build and target an audience across the customer lifecycle without making sense of all this data from so many sources. The second challenge we saw was around analytics. They were looking at their analytics through a number of different silos. They would look at their SaaS analytics separately, their CRM analytics in another solution, their product-based analytics in another. And so it was really hard to get a sense of the analytics right across the customer journey. So we had these three problems that our customers had. They wanted to build highly personalized customer journeys. They wanted to unify their data in order to send highly personalized messages and understand who their customer was and who they should target across the customer journey. And then they wanted to be able to visualize their analytics right across the customer journey to make sense of what was going on. For example, did a negative support experience lead to a drop in usage of a product? Or does a particular marketing UTM lead to a large number of refunds? And in which case, that's a really bad campaign. So we believe instead of really three separate solutions, this is just one product. You need to be able to unify and operationalize your customer data. You need to be able to visually and simply build customer journeys to to target these people. And then you need to be able to understand all of your analytics across the customer journey in order to know how you're performing and look for improvements. So that's why we built Ortto, which is a unified customer journey platform for online business. And the challenge when it comes to selling a solution like this is, in order to realize the value for your customers and the people we sell to today, you need to be able to demonstrate this by showing them data. And it's really difficult to go into a pitch and say, you know what, why don't you connect all of your disparate customer data sources, all of your customer data into Ortto, and then we'll demonstrate the power of the solution, especially if it's a larger customer or an enterprise type business. So in order to do that, we had to come up with a solution. And internally, as many of you may have seen, we use what we call an AI simulator to simulate and build out a customer data platform from which we can demonstrate analytics and demonstrate highly personalized customer journeys, very specific to the business. So we can basically show them the solution and then hand over that account so that they can use it after we finish demoing to them. And it's a really effective sales strategy. And so when we started building out our partner program, we wanted to be able to hand that technology over to our partners. And that's what we intend to do today. And I'm really excited to show it to you for the very first time. So let's jump over to the demo and take a look at the partner portal. Okay, so the first screen when you get access to the partner portal you're going to land on is what we call Pipeline. And Pipeline is essentially our way of communicating with you and you communicating with us through the different stages of the lead registration process. So you have two different pipelines. The first is the managed pipeline, and the second is the self-serve pipeline. So managed pipeline, the easiest way to think about it is these are leads that you want us and our team to work on with you and help you co-sell and manage that process with you. The self-serve pipeline is for when you're signing up a new customer and going to do that whole sales process and all the work yourself. And so they're two different pipelines, and I'll show you why we separate them a little bit later. So when you register a lead, the first thing it will do is appear here in qualifying. And this is just when we're looking at the deal and we'll liaise with you to figure out the best approach to work this particular lead. Now, if it's a duplicate or an existing customer, or we think there's a challenge in solving to this customer, like it might be the right solution for them, we'll actually notify you. You'll see it appear in the lost column. You'll also get an email and we'll communicate with you as to the reasons why. But you'll also see the listed reason over here. In this case, you can see duplicate lead. So in qualifying, you can see we've got Adobe and Samsung here as examples. Once we've accepted those leads, they would move over to the working state. And then when we're successful closing the deal, it'll move over to one state. And this is where you can start earning commission on that deal. So let's jump into accounts and look at that section. So we've got a number of example accounts that I'm managing here with my agency, Mike Productions. So you've got 6 accounts as an example in here. And these are just the accounts that your agency is looking after. And this is where your team can log in and access all these different accounts with one click. So if I wanted to log into ChargeFox's account here, I can just click directly and it'll auth me in. If I need to look at their billing information or make modifications, I can directly access the billing information from here as well. So it's a great central hub to manage all of the accounts that you're working with. You can also create new accounts in here. So if you need to spin up a new account, you can do it directly in here now. You don't need to go through the homepage or sign up through the normal means. The second method is creating a demo account. And this is where we're handing over that AI simulation technology. And I'm going to show you that in just a moment. The third section here is commission. So this is where we'll show you your pending payout amounts, what's happening with the payout, and below that, eligible subscriptions. So these are the subscriptions that are currently eligible for you to earn commission on. You can see the total MRR, this is all in USD, and the commission as well that you should expect. You can also download this information in a CSV file if you need to crunch it somewhere else. And you can update the payment information, how you want to be paid out, the primary means through PayPal right now. And also report missing subscriptions in here if you believe we've incorrectly associated or missed a subscription that you should have credit for. Below that, we have a dedicated partner support portal now. So you can submit tickets to our support team directly through the partner portal, and these will be given a sense of priority. And there's all the other key help sections in here showing you what we're working on and other communication in there as well. Under settings, you'll find the ability to add different team members from your agency in here as well. So you can add new users into your partner account and they'll be able to access the accounts in here as well. So it's just a great way of giving all of your team access to all the accounts that you're managing. Under managed accounts, we do have a single option right now, but there'll be some more options in the near future. The first is whether you want our onboarding emails to go to the customer. So if you don't want us to email your customers with onboarding emails initially, like welcome to Ortto and the other emails that we send, you can just switch these off and our system will stop sending them emails so you can handle the direct communication with them yourself. Okay, so let's go into this AI simulation demo for the very first time here. And I've got two scenarios I want to show you today. The first is an e-commerce example. The second is a SaaS example. So I want to show you how the AI simulator can simulate both examples with relative ease. So the first example, let's say my agency, Mike Productions, has been given the opportunity to pitch to Nike. And so I want to spin up a demo environment of Ortto with Nike products and Nike's ticketing software and as much data as I can demonstrate to Nike about how I can solve their customer journey problems. So first of all, we click create demo account and we just put in the business name. So we'll put in Nike and then we'll put in, I'll just give that an extra name. So we'll put in here, e-commerce is the business type. So we can choose from e-commerce, SaaS, B2B, and these all simulate slightly differently. We'll put in the website here. So I'll put in Nike.com. And then you can select a time zone. And this time zone is the time zone that your customer's in so that they see it within context. We'll just select UTC for simplicity in this demo, but you would always select the local time zone. And then we just need to give the AI some examples of where the customers are. So if you've just got customers in the UK, for example, you could just name cities and towns in the UK to basically teach the AI where the customers are. It doesn't have to be specific. The AI is pretty smart. So we'll put in New York, we'll put in Austin, we'll put in Toronto. And we better put in Sydney here as well. I can't spell all of a sudden. So we just put in our locations. This teaches it where our customers are. We click next. And then the next screen is all about selecting which data sources that we want to simulate. So here, we want to pick Shopify. That's the simulation we use today, but you can pick from other e-commerce platforms as well. And as we add more data sources, you'll be able to simulate those as well. Nike use Zendesk, so we'll select Zendesk. Here, we don't have a recurring subscription mechanism, so we're not going to select the recurring data source, and we're not using a CRM, so we'll select no there. Next on the configuration step, we need to add our products. So in this simulation, we can just crawl Nike and find products, so images, product names, and prices. And the AI is capable of doing this, but you can also manually enter them as well. So you can see I've got a series of Nike products from the Nike store. Pretty easy. So the next step is our user stories. And this is just teaching the AI the stories that we want to simulate. And out of the box for a lot of these examples, as the indication says here, you can probably skip this step. So we've basically already done the hard work for you. If you click into one of these user stories, it shows you different patterns that we're training the AI to simulate for e-commerce. But this is all highly configurable. So if you have a customer that, for example, like Nike, wants to connect in-store data with online data, we can change the user stories to help simulate that for our pitch. So to do that, we go over to activities and we're going to create a custom activity here. And we'll call the custom activity swiped loyalty card. And then we can give that a name. So here we'll, an icon. So we'll give it an icon like this, just so it's memorable and we can identify it easily later. And then we want to add attributes. So For my loyalty card, what I'm really interested in is just looking at what's the total points that they gain from this particular transaction. So I've got two simulation types here. I can give the AI sample data and let it just make something up, or I can define exact values. I'll show you examples of both. So let's enter some sample data, and we're just going to teach the AI what points mean to us. So we'll say like 10,000 points, 5,000 points, 2,000 points, 3,000 points. So we're just teaching it some examples of point balances that Nike has when they swipe the card. We'll click save, and you can see the attributes added, total points gained. And then we'll say total points because we want to know what their balance is after this swipe as well. And we'll just do the AI again. So we'll put in 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. Okay, so now we've taught it that these are the two values we want: total points gained, total points. And the final thing we'll do is store name. And this time we'll use exact values. So we'll say it's Sydney, San Francisco, London, New York. That'll do. So we'll just put in some exact values. So now we have our custom activity swipe loyalty card. We can go back over to the user stories and start to train the AI how to use this user story. So what I'm going to do is clean this one up a little bit in here and maybe put in the final activity as placed order. So you can see they're visiting our website, they're viewing some products, they're adding a product to cart, they're placing an order. This is a sample that we're training it with. And then we're going to add an activity, and we'll call that swipe loyalty card. So what I want to demonstrate here is from in-store to online. So I'm going to bring the swipe loyalty card to the top. So they've swiped it in store. Then we're going to add an artificial delay to train the AI with up here. And it's going to say wait 1 day. So we'll say about 3 days later, they then go online and buy in store. So they've swiped their loyalty cards, they've made a purchase. 3 days later, they then, for whatever reason, go and buy online. So I'm just training it some of these stories. So we'll add in here swipe loyalty card as well, somewhere in here, just to get some nice data on it. Under the ticket simulation here, we might add that they placed an order, and then for whatever reason, they log a ticket. Just to give it some meaning here. So once you've built out your user stories, and as you're building them even, you can generate previews. So this is just getting a very quick hit from the AI. Sometimes it's really accurate, sometimes it's not, but it's just to give you feedback on how you're building out your own user stories. So you can see here, it gives you a few examples. Sometimes they're phenomenal, like this one. So you can see a user session here. It's got UTM simulated. This is all simulated. And they viewed a product in the store and it simulated a price for that. You can see the third example as well. It's a bit more intricate. So they're starting checkout. So this just shows you what the AI is learning and gives you feedback in here as well. So let's go to next. And this is where we can set up the brand. So by default, the AI does its best guess to build out an email template and brand book for that customer. Often you won't even need to change this, but I know a lot of agencies and designers amongst the group will want to fiddle around with this and make it look spectacular. But you can see it does a really good job. So it's got some menu items in the email, new releases, men, women, sale, and it looks pretty good for today. So we'll click next. We can review the configuration, and then we'll click generate our demo account. And so that's it. That's all we have to do. And now the AI is going to run in the background. Typically, these simulations take about 30 minutes. We've sped it up, obviously, for today, but this is a real simulation running. I'm demoing this live. So you'll see it actually live. So once you get back into the account here, you'll see that I've got Nike in my account now, and we're generating. So it says generating on this account, which means the AI is now feeding in data. So the second demo I want to show you quickly is creating a SaaS-based demo. And I've picked Figma, which is design software that many of you would be very familiar with. And with Figma, it's a SaaS business, so software as a service business. So we'll simulate it a little bit differently. So let's go ahead and put in here figma.com. We'll stick with our UTC time zone here. And then with this one, we'll slant it a little bit more to the US, where adoption's very high. We'll add in Paris. And we'll put in Sydney, and we better not forget our friends down in Melbourne as well. So here's some locations. You can see it's pretty similar to before when I set up the e-commerce demo, except now I'm just saying it's SaaS. And you'll see the options now are slightly different, and the data sources that you can choose from are slightly different. So for recurring billing, we'll go ahead and select Recurly for our SaaS subscriptions. We're not going to simulate a CRM because they have a data center in my demo example. And we'll also select Zendesk to simulate Zendesk. So I've simulated my base case data sources for SaaS. So I've got my recurring billing system and my ticketing software as well. Now, in a lot of cases, you'll have a CRM, so you could simulate a CRM like Salesforce as well in here. So let's click next, and the options are slightly different than the e-commerce example because obviously the use case is pretty different. So under user groups, there's two types of simulations that you can run here. One's currently disabled because we're still working on it. It'll be available pretty soon. So one is for just a normal SaaS application where you have subscriptions. The other is a two-sided marketplace. So if you're simulating something like Airbnb or Uber, this allows you to simulate two sides of the equation, which is really powerful. And I'll release some training videos on how to use all these, but they're pretty straightforward to figure out. So Figma charges per seat. So we'll select charge per seat. In billing period options, we'll choose monthly and annually because you can purchase monthly or annual subscriptions. And we'll select include free plan because there is a free version available. So under our seats, which are our plans now, we'll select a professional seat of $15 per seat, a business seat of $29 per seat, and a enterprise seat of $59 per seat. So you can see it builds out an example of the content here. Again, this is just training the AI on how the business works and functions. So on the next step, very similar to before, you'll see the user stories built out. But what you'll notice is missing from here is common SaaS activities, which are things like logged in or creating a file or sharing a design with a teammate. So let's go and map out two custom activities that describe Figma's business. So the first one we'll add here is just created file. And we'll give it an icon, again, like a mouse icon. I like that one. And under attributes, we'll select adding an attribute. And what I would like to know in my attributes is what kind of file did they create? So we'll call this file type. And we're going to design exact values because we know the file types in Figma. We have a design file and we have a FigJam file. So we'll go ahead and add those in. So now we've got our file types mapped under created file. So the second activity I'm going to go and add here is file name. Now this is where we need the AI because I can't make up that many file names. So I'm going to give it examples now. So the first will be like wireframe, website mockup, e-commerce, store mockup, SaaS, pricing page, partner portal. So there's just some examples, and you can see those examples just comma separated, and they appear below, and we're good to go. So now we've mapped out our creative file activity. Now the other activity that I want to map out so I can demonstrate in my demo with Figma is something that they really want to see a lot of people do, which is after they create a file, add someone and collaborate. So we'll add another activity, added a team member here. And then we'll go and pick another icon that describes that. And I think there's a really good one in here if I can find it, a plus. So added a team member. Now, with adding a team member, we want to add some attributes about that so we can refer to it and personalize our marketing more. So what we can select here for added team member is just like team member name. And again, we'll just enter some sample names. So we'll add Malvin, Steve, John, Mike, Cam, Claire, Tim, Chris. So there's just some names in there in order to get the AI teacher to simulate some names. And so with multilingual, this works great as well. So if you put in a bunch of Spanish names, it'll learn Spanish and spit out Spanish names. It will blow your mind when you use it for the first time. So that's team member name on here now as well. And then we just want to type in here like what permission group they had. So we'll enter exact values here, and we'll say read only, owner, and just admin, and like say creator. So these are just some example permissions as to how the person was added in here as well. So now we've got our 2 activities that describe the business of Figma, created file and added team member. We can now go and add them to our user stories. So after they sign up for a trial, they're likely going to create a file. They might create, say, 2 files, but for whatever reason, they don't add a teammate. So we want to simulate that sort of problem scenario where they don't add a teammate, so they don't understand collaboration, and therefore at the end of this story, they go and cancel. So the next story is where the trial expires for whatever reason. And this just might be a case of they added a team member and it's too expensive. And so we want to simulate that kind of story as well. We've also got a Zendesk story down here as well. So we'll put in created file, added team member in here. And then for whatever reason, they logged the ticket and they rated it. We'll add one more, and this is just creating one from scratch. So this could be they sign up for a trial. They go on and create a file here, and then they add a teammate, something really simple. So now we can generate the previews of these user stories similar to how we did for Nike previously. So let's have a look at how that plays out. So you can see this is just an example, created file, FigJam file, and you can see the AI came up with website mockup, e-commerce store mockup, created file, and then this bigger one, new trial, created file, added team member. So this is all AI, right? Like this is not me just pre-planning this, and you'll see as you use it. So it's really amazing the types of data it can simulate, and it's just going to get more and more powerful for you as you go. So again, let's move to the next step of brand. And you can see with Figma, it didn't really hit the mark as well as it did with Nike. I'm just going to tone the heading down to a black heading there. And it looks a lot better already. I might clean up this footer so you can just like quickly clean it up just before you demo quickly. And you're pretty good to go. So that's the brand section. We'll go to review step and we'll generate our demo account. Okay, so our 2 accounts are generating. We're going to come back in a minute and look at those simulations. And I think you're going to be really excited to see how powerful these demo generations can be in your pitches. I believe it will change your win rate to almost 100%. Once you can demonstrate the capabilities of Ortto, you're going to win the deal every single time. So to make sure we get credit for our Nike deal, let's quickly go through the registration process. So we'll register our lead. We'll click manage lead and we'll put in the company name of Nike. We'll call it e-commerce because it basically is. We'll put in the website so it's recognized. We'll put in the headquarter location of that business. We'll put in Jeff Nike and we'll put jeff@nike.com. You can put in their phone number. I'll put in a made up phone number. Estimated number of contacts, purchase time frame, are they an existing customer of your agency, and some various other information. This is all just helpful for us to understand about the deal. You'll get this confirmation of how we process and handle the lead registration. And then once you register it, you'll see it immediately appear in the qualifying state. Now, this pipeline is linked to our internal sales team Salesforce account, so you'll get updates in relatively real time. And we'll come back and check on Nike later, so hopefully we win the deal here. And you can actually click into these deals to see more information about them. And in the future, we might add additional information in here just to help you understand what's actually going on. Let's quickly take a look at the self-serve pipeline, because I think people will be really interested in that as well, that like to just not work with us and set up their own accounts and sell to their own customers. So in here, you can also register any self-service lead. You have to be a member of the account, so they'll have to invite you, or you have to be associated with that account to do it. I'm going to add a small upstart here into my self-serve lead, Apple. And so I just go and select the account and then go next. And you'll see Apple's now appeared in my leads. And then once they purchase a subscription, if it's the business plan or greater, they'll immediately be an upsold and you're eligible to start earning commission. But if they're smaller than the business plan, it will sit in upselling until a time when that account goes greater than $299 or the business plan, and then you'll start earning commission on it. So that's how the pipeline works. And so that was my speed run through the partner portal. We're going to come back in a moment and have a look at those accounts. But in the meantime, we're going to cut back over and Cam's going to tell you all about this program. Over to you, Cam.
Thanks so much, Mike. I was really impressed, and I've seen that a few times now, but the team has worked really hard for our partners to make sure you guys have these powerful tools at your fingertips. So far you've seen the partner portal, of course, and the AI simulation tool. Before we get into anything more, I wanted to kind of run you through some helpful pointers on what kind of customers would be ideal for our platform. One of my favorite aspects of our platform when I first entered the business was that we're vertical agnostic. So what that means is that our platform can fit the needs of B2B and B2C businesses, SaaS businesses, like Mike just showed you the Figma example, and of course, e-commerce like Nike. We're well suited for businesses based out of Australia and New Zealand. Of course, that's where we're headquartered, North America, and the UK. All right. Most importantly, let's cover off some of the pain points that you might recognize with a prospect or one of your current customers that we could potentially solve for. The first one is, do they have that sort of siloed, disparate data problem? Do they have data in all sorts of different platforms perhaps today, and they don't have that single customer view? Our CDP platform can solve for that. So that's one pain point that we can definitely solve for. The second one would be the need to create and send that relevant and personalized messaging across the customer journey. That's definitely our bread and butter. Of course, we can solve for that. So now we've got the CDP aspect, the customer journey aspect. Thirdly, this comes up with marketers all the time, is they can't report properly when they have that disparate and silo data. All of the reporting is sitting within different platforms. So now we can bring that all together because our platform is collecting all of those data sources from the different platforms. So the way that we can track performance success is done successfully through our platform through the use of reporting and dashboards. If you haven't seen a demo of Ortto yet, we will definitely take you through that with our partnerships team. So we will be in touch with you afterwards if this is something you're interested in, but we can cover off all three of those pain points in a demo environment for you as well. All right. Let's talk data sources. This is really important for our platform. This is how you unlock the true power of a CDP, and this is how you can bring everything together in a single source of truth. You don't have to have that data locked away in silos with different teams or departments. We're going to bring it all together for you. So we've primed together the best data sources for you to achieve that ideal single customer view, and we've split it up between the verticals, as Mike showcased to you earlier. So what SaaS businesses can do is unlock a single customer view, combining data from marketing, sales, and support using our powerful data sources like Zendesk, Salesforce, Stripe, Slack, Google Ads, and many more. You can personalize the customer onboarding based on user actions. You can activate the product. You can see and take action on user engagement and the impact of activities on MRR. So that's really great for a SaaS business. Let's talk B2B. B2B businesses can still create that single customer view. They can personalize account-based marketing campaigns and measure the impact of these campaigns based on sales. All right, let's talk e-commerce now, or B2C businesses. It's been really challenging for e-commerce businesses to have that single customer view. You know, they've got the in-store data, they've got the online data, they want to collect that behavioral data. So now they can combine all of that rich data and create a personalized campaign such as abandoned cart recovery. They could do product recommendations. They could send post-purchase follow-up to seek reviews, or if they've got a third-party loyalty platform that they want to connect to as well. We've got data sources with the most powerful e-commerce platforms, including Shopify, BigCommerce, Woo, Swell, Gorgeous, the list goes on. We're really excited about the data sources that we have available today, and we feel that it is going to unlock you to achieving that single customer view. All right. I'm going to talk about partners now. This is my most favorite part, obviously. So why do we build this program? Why do we have a partner program in place today? Why do we build the partner portal, the AI simulation tool? Clearly, we're taking an effective direction for partner first. We know that partners are the heart of many businesses. They're advising clients on those pain points that we talked about.
They want to help achieve revenue goals for their clients, and we want to make it as easy as possible for our partners to do that with the use of our platform. So our partner program allows partners to refer, implement, and solve those challenges with our 3-in-1 solution. As Mike mentioned, our partners can earn that 30% reoccurring commission, which is something that we're really excited about. We know it's competitive in the market with the new platform. We have a lot of other additional benefits, including mutual lead generation efforts. We want to co-sell with you. We want to understand what leads we can pass back to you as well. We want our partners to be an extension of our team. We want you to play a genuine growth of our product as well. So we loved your feedback, and we have been receiving some great feedback. And of course, we want to be able to exchange that with our product team and also give you feedback as well. We're developing some great certification and training tools. Some of you have already gone through some of our enablement sessions with our team, including onboarding. Our onboarding is now going to enable you how to use our portal, how to use the AI simulation tool. We do co-selling sessions, go-to-market sessions, and deep dive technical sessions with our solution engineering team as well. After today, you'll be able to obviously access that partner portal, which is in itself extremely powerful and intuitive and can help you co-sell with our team. And on top of that, we've got marketing and program support as well to help you go to market with our partner marketing team. If you're an agency looking to drive growth for your customers, our free to join partner program is probably the most ideal place for you to register and work alongside our partnerships team. All right, let's talk partner tiers. The why we've created Ortto's tiers, including bronze, silver, gold, and diamond, is we want to bring perks to you as you grow with us. We've created a really helpful partner guide as well, which you'll receive after registration through our portal. So this will deep dive into each tier and how you can receive some of the benefits when you fall into each tier. Our program does have specific requirements for each tier, including monthly recurring revenue, getting enabled with your partner manager, and certification as well. But we do know that with benefits at every tier, you'll be set up for success. All right, guys, that's enough about the partner program. We're really excited to take you through onboarding after you register, and we can deep dive into all aspects of our program so you're set up for success. I'm going to hand it back over to Mike to take you through the remainder of the demo. Over to you, Mike.
Cool. Thanks so much, Cam. All right, so let's go back now and the moment of truth. How did our demo simulations go? So back over into the partner portal, here we are, and you can see we have Nike and Figma. It looks like Figma's still generating, but let's refresh and see. Oh, it looks like it's done too. So let's go into Nike and start having a poke around before we get into our pitch here. And so first of all, let's go in and look at our data sources. So you can see that we've got our Zendesk connected in here. We've got our e-commerce store, which is Shopify in this case, our tracking code, and the AI simulator, which is a custom data source, which is feeding in the data. The best thing about isolating it is if the customer wants to actually use this account afterwards, you can clear it all out pretty easily. So under activities, we can see we've got our swipe loyalty card activity in here. And then we'll scroll down and you'll see we've got all the different activities that we described during the simulation. So we've got the Shopify activities like checkout started, added product to cart, and then we've got Zendesk tickets in here as well. So let's have a look at an example of some of the AI data. So if we go over to activity with Zendesk, you can see Terry Brown here has changed his satisfaction score, saying it was excellent service and he was satisfied. So it has created all these people. It's given them a geolocation. So you can see that on the map where they're coming from in real time. And you can see that the simulation's quite effective. We've also got the loyalty card swipes here. So you can see different people went through here and swiped cards and a whole bunch of different outcomes. If you click into a specific person, you can see some of the simulation data for them, swiping a loyalty card, then visiting the website. It's even simulated the UTM campaign examples, then which product this particular person's viewed. So we've got really rich data in our demo account and it's working exactly as we expected. If we come down here to Shopify, just to give you a sense of how that's different, you can see our abandoned carts here. You'll see actual real abandoned cart examples. So these are in the format of Shopify and can be used to create test journeys and things like that. So I'll quickly demonstrate that to you. So The best part about this now is we can create reports with that data. So if we wanted to create a funnel and see how many people swiped the loyalty card in store and then went on to place an order, you can easily do that and show it to the customer. So you can see about 36% of people that swipe the loyalty card go on to place an order in the store very visually. So having this data in the system, especially data that relates to the problems that they're trying to solve, and then being able to demonstrate how to visualize it and then take action on that data is incredibly powerful. So let's have a look at another one. So say we wanted to show them products sold by revenue. We could say in here, placed order. We'll group it by the line items, and then we'll sum it up by the total price of the amount sold. We'll display it as a donut, and you can see I've got the different purchase products in this chart as well. So that's just talking through, showing you the data coming out and how to visualize it. But how do we take action on the data to solve some of our problems? So under campaigns, right before the demo, you can easily show them how easy it is to create campaigns. So if we click into the journey campaign type and then go over to Shopify and just click on abandoned cart recovery, if we wanted to demonstrate that for Nike here, it will automatically build out the Nike cart recovery journey with SMS. And if you start to go into, say, edit mode here, you'll see we can visualize it, and it creates these beautiful email templates with all the product data in there ready to go. It looks real, it feels real, it just seems like Nike's already set up their account. So it's really easy to demonstrate with, especially when it comes to templating as well. So under people, you've also got that whole schema created as well. So you can see you've got all simulated fields from Shopify and from Zendesk in this case, because they were the data sources we added. If you add fields like city, where we've simulated geo as well, you'll see that the city data is in here. And of course, that custom data model's been built out for the organization. So you can access the Shopify data, the Zendesk data, and all the different activities in here. So let's have a look at people who have just placed an order in general, and then maybe, like submitted a Zendesk ticket in here. So you can see we've got 6 total matches. Seems like Toronto complain a lot because they're all from Toronto. But you can see in here we've got products added to cart, people viewing products, tickets submitted. And this aligns up very nicely with our story here as well. So this is how you can segment the data using all of that AI simulated data and really demonstrate the power of segmentation and the data model itself. Okay, so the final thing I'll show here is something quite new, which we've never really shown before. So we now also can simulate user sessions, so website traffic. So in here, as an example, say I wanted to pick a specific UTM campaign name, like my monthly newsletter, and then see how many orders that newsletter led to. I can add the user session data from the UTM and connect it up to the placed order. So I can see 6 people ordered from that monthly newsletter that I've been sending out. So it's really powerful stuff. It just gives you comprehensive data across the platform to demonstrate the key capabilities, populate your audiences, and really win the deal. So now let's go back to the partner portal, and we'll have a look at our Figma account for a SaaS example. So again, we'll start off actually, let's have a look at the data sources. So in this case, we've got Recurly, we've got Zendesk in here. Under activities, we've got our 2 activities. So created file, added a team member. Let's have a look at created file. And you'll see in here, website mockup, FigJam file, landing page mockup, FigJam file. So it's pretty neat. And then down the bottom here, you've got the same Zendesk tickets, and then you've got all of the transactional data here as well. So now, if we're in that pitch, we can easily demonstrate to Figma that let's have a look at all the people who have created a file, but for whatever reason haven't added a team member. So we'll say has not occurred. And we can easily demonstrate how they could go and target this cohort of users. These 78 people have created a file but haven't added a team member. So we can easily go and then target them. And if we wanted to get more specific and look at the file type, of course, that's simulated as well. So we can come in here and say it's a design file, And now our cohort goes down to 41. And we can easily target that with a campaign or save it as an audience that we can monitor over time. So this allows to do visualization similar to what I showed you before as well. So you can step through the funnel and literally go all the way from them signing up for a trial to them creating their very first design to them then adding a team member to the account. So see how we can step through the journey and observe that we have some drop-off points. So, not all of our trialists create a file, so there's work to be done here. And not all of the people that create a file collaborate with their design, so there's work to be done there as well. We can also easily demonstrate by having this data in the system, building out journeys from scratch. So one of the journeys that you would want to solve here is get them to invite a user. So we'll say they match a filter. We'll go in here and select that they created a file and it has occurred. And at the time, they have not added a team member. So we'll say has not occurred. So that's how they'll start the journey. And then when they do add a team member, we want to remove them from this particular journey at the moment it occurs. So this enables us to change that behavior problem that Figma told us that they had in our pitch. So we can demonstrate to them really easily that we can come in here and add an email in and create that email from scratch. And we'll call this get them to add a team member. And in the subject, you can use the simulated data. So we can say in here, invite someone to help you work on, and then we can go to our personalization variable, come down here and select the created file and then the file name. So it'll say invite somebody to work on the file name that they've just created. So you can get really hyper personalized and demonstrate that level of personalization to them. So let's go and select a template. And I'll show you just one final example in here of invite someone to help with. And then we can go down and again refer to that, that file name here. If they've added people before, you can also access that team member as well, and their names in here you can see. So team member name. So all of that is accessible on the schema, which just allows you to really demonstrate this level of personalization that only AI can deliver during these demo simulations. So yeah, that's a really quick look at how the demo accounts play out. They're ready to go. They're packed with templates. They've got dashboard templates in them. So it just really populates the data and allows you to tell that narrative. And you can help the AI craft that narrative by teaching it when it comes time to simulate everything out. And then you'll see the different pieces that appear in here along the way. So I'll leave it there because I did just want to quickly show you this today and give you a sense of how powerful it is. We'll provide more training videos soon on specific use cases and how to get the most out of the tool, but I would strongly encourage you to try it out because it makes all the difference when you're talking to a business and you can really just demonstrate the solution to them. Some people will be so blown away by the results they see, they'll actually think you've already set everything up and somehow stolen their customer data. So that's the impressions that it'll give you off. So I'm very excited to put this into your hands. We'd love your feedback on it. We're going to continuously improve it. And we hope that it leads to you closing and ultimately winning more deals. Okay, so back to our presentation. And Cam, how do people join the partner program?
Thanks, Mike. That was absolutely epic. Cannot wait for you guys to get your hands onto this and hear your feedback, like Mike said. All right, so we really want you to join our partner program if you feel that it's suitable for your prospects and your customers. We're here to help you out with it. If you haven't joined already, you can register on our new website and landing page at ortto.com/partners. There are directions on how you can create an account with us to access the partner portal. But first, you do have to register your interest so we can approve your application. We can help you through that process, but there are step-by-step directions on that landing page.
If you are already a registered partner and you just want to access the partner portal and the AI tool, we will be sending out directions on how you can do that as well. So you will receive some email communications about us. I have my wonderful partnerships team here today. Obviously, every day we've got Lucas and Isabella, which a lot of you have spoken to already. We're here to help you out. So please do contact us at partners@ortto.com if you do need further assistance as well. With that being said, I think we're good on time. We've got about 7 minutes. Does anyone have any questions that we're happy to answer? I know some people have been asking through the chat bot. Is there anything that anyone wants us to cover off with you today?
I did want to quickly interrupt, Cam, before I just got the good news. We did win the Nike deal. So you can see now it is in our one column. It's got a green $sign and it's eligible to earn commission on. So you can see that whole process working. We won that deal very quickly. What an amazing turnaround. I think it had all to do with the AI simulation, and it will appear in here over time to start earning commission on it. So I did just want to show everyone that it was a successful demo. We won the pitch. All right, so we can look at some questions if anyone has. I saw a question about the BigCommerce integration. It actually is in the simulator already, so BigCommerce is in there. And yeah, pretty much all the major data sources that are available on Ortto today are available in the simulator. The reason I didn't cover all of them is just for the sheer time and maybe complexity of it. I just didn't want to confuse people too much. So when you start exploring it, you'll see a lot of options available in there. You can even simulate CRM like Salesforce or Pipedrive, and go nuts with it.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Anyone else have any more questions? I'm just looking here at the chat.
A lot of people are asking how to log in and get access to the portal. We will send instructions sometime after the event today to you of how to get into the portal itself. I'm not sure if it's live now, but it will be fairly soon for you to get in.
Absolutely. And our team is ready to take you through onboarding on that portal. So we'll obviously have this video recorded to reference back to, but we'll take you through a tour of the partner portal so you know how to access it and add users for your own team, and then start using that AI simulation tool as well as soon as that.
I'm also seeing some questions about how do people sign up if they're an existing partner of Autopilot Journeys. So in order to do that, you will need to sign up for an Ortto account. The instructions are on that page, ortto.com/partners. So sign up for an Ortto account, and then you'll find an option in the menu, which is partner portal, and then you can just apply to join, and you'll be prioritized in that application process as an existing partner. It is a separate program. All right, cool. Well, we might leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's been our pleasure. Thanks for taking us through the program, Cam. You'll be hearing a lot more from us soon, and hopefully we'll have a few more partner events like this to keep you guys abreast of what's going on and other tools that you can use. I'll also be releasing some videos soon on how to use that AI simulator if you want a little bit of training, but as you saw today, it's pretty straightforward. We'd love your feedback, and we'll talk to you all very soon. Cam, any final thoughts?
Thanks for your support globally and locally, partners. Thanks for the comments and the questions. We look forward to working with you through our partner program. Thanks, everyone.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.